gave out some statistics on pilots reacting to RAs. I was curious about where those came from and how you obtained those.
Yeah, I gave some compliance data. Yeah, the FAA, my program office, has a monitoring program where we collect RA information across the NAS from 20 or so different locations. And this is to ensure, we collect it to assess and ensure that TCAS is performing as intended, and to track down anomalies when system behavior is,
let me turn this off.
I guess, bad.
On pause. But since Sean Duffy has been in
actors
power,
or systems aren't behaving as we anticipate.
And is that collected through ADSB data, like you were talking about before?
And doing the aviation with the United Snakes of America, there have been over 268 aviation accidents since Sean Duffy has been in leadership with aviation. So we have knowledge that.
Could you remind us what was the overall compliance rate?
Have been
for the large portion of our.
We have proof that these people have been committing war crimes. So I just want you guys to just see certain things. Now, here's their live. Let me see. Now, earlier today they had 4 lives, so now they got 3 lives. So this is the one that we're on
we see
right
in the
now.
NAS. You get about a 65-70% compliance with those.
On here,
and then as you go closer to the terminal area approach segment of flight, you start getting a lower compliance when it comes to climb RAs.
Restricted. So,
all right, thank you, sir.
It is what it is, though.
And I asked that to go to Captain Clow here. So I know he was asked to do that for the PSA data.
They using our tax dollars to pay for all these bullshit.
You want to know PSA's compliance rate with RAs?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's very high.
Our tax dollars are being wasted.
97.7%.
Warfare.
Thank you. And how do we get that data? Just real quick.
Jewish, European.
Sorry for your repeat. I had a bit of
how do we get that data? What do we use to get that data? I'm sure everybody wants to know.
Implemented their policies over the law. They have implemented their policies over the law, and what they are attempting to do, because now people are starting to find out, they're trying to stop people from gaining access to, arms. They don't want people to arm themselves, because once the people start finding out what these motherfucking clowns have been doing, they're going to start going after them. And that's what their greatest fear is. So the NTSB, according to the NTSB, there have been over 268 accidents in 2025 since Sean Duffy has been in leadership. So we're wondering how come this is happening. Now, none of them want to answer our questions. None of them. And when we ask the questions, they don't answer our questions. But they have questions that they have scripted. And you can hear the script in their conversation. If you listen to every single one of these news media outlets and these fucking dickheads like these senators and these Republican senators and all these motherfuckers that are in power, you will hear that their conversation is the same. All their conversation is the same. So I just put under Sean Duffy's leadership, there have been over 268 aviation accidents in 2025. Over 3,000 military jets have been created by JetBlue, funded with our tax dollars by Donald Trump and all Republican senators. So we're wondering how the fuck all this shit. And then look, if you looking at these people, they really believe it's a joke. Look at their face. They smiling like this is a fucking joke. So we out here now, and we're proving what they are doing. So just listen to them. Listen to their conversation, and you will hear exactly. They'll tell, they tell on themselves. So, it is what it is.
I would like to go back in time a little bit, back to the night of the incident. Captain Cloud, can you just briefly cover the configuration of the aircraft, the CRG 700, in terms of what capabilities it had for traffic advisory, traffic alert, traffic collision?
The CRJ accident aircraft had TCAS 7.0.
So as you can see,
it was
where's my post?
With ADS-B in?
Let's do it again.
Negative.
Oh, okay.
It's called the
we
blind
understand that maybe they had
now.
capability to use the iPad as well. Is that not a capability you use?
But I want you guys
No,
to see
the
it, so that you
aircraft
guys see
itself, the CRJ, does
I'll
not
post
have
it.
any certified ADS-B
put it in
in
quotes,
capability.
and then with a period.
We do operate with iPads, but we do not have an ADS-B in interface for those iPads.
Okay.
So as
Thank
you
you very
can
much.
see,
I want to go back to
posting
Mr.
it again.
to
So
Dr.
I posted it
Kunze.
right here, right?
As we talked about the capabilities
Right
of the
here. You see it?
of the Black Hawk at the night of the incident,
See
it
it?
was transmitting mode
You
3
see it?
Alpha in Charlie, as well as
Now
mode
watch
S
this.
in the terminal area versus in their area.
Now
Based on the
where's my
discussions we
post?
had earlier, can you describe
Now
what
you
an
see this
ADS-B
post right
in-equipped
here, right?
aircraft
But
would
this is
see
under
with an
my
aircraft
other
transmitting mode 3 Alpha in Charlie
which is
and
this
mode
one right
S
here.
in the terminal area as
go
such as
to it.
DCA?
Yeah, glad to. An ADS-B in equipped aircraft
Which accounts, right?
only
So I could
directly
I could possibly post it off of this one.
equipped aircraft
Let's see what it
that are
is.
on the same link. So if it's on the other link
Something went wrong. Look
or
at
a
this
mode
shit,
C,
man.
mode
These
S aircraft,
motherfuckers are
it will not directly
clowns.
receive
See,
that
look,
information.
something
However,
went wrong, huh?
there are systems on the
Something
ground,
went
FAA
wrong, huh?
systems, that
Something
address
went wrong,
that,
huh?
that
Look,
gap in
right here,
visibility.
look.
In the case
What's going on?
of a mode
Something
C
went wrong,
or a
huh?
mode
Look,
S
look, look.
transponder, the radar systems will see
bring it
that
up
aircraft,
so
if
you
that
guys
aircraft is in, not too low, is in view of a radar. That radar track will then be translated into something that's called TISB, Traffic Information Service Broadcast, and that is then uplinked on the ADS-B frequencies for ADS-B in aircraft to receive.
Oh, now it's showing.
So what that translates to is
That's funny shit.
a radar track
showing, huh?
on an ADS-B
So on this one, I
in
could possibly
system
put it
with the
right there.
associated
Alright, so
radar
let's
errors,
do that
but
again.
at least it's present and information that's available. And then if the other aircraft is on a UAT
I don't
or
even know. Let me, you know what? Let me go.
the other ADS-B link, there is a system called ADSR, which is Automatic Dependent Surveillance Rebroadcast, which is the same idea of translating from one frequency to the other through uplink on the ground. The big limitation, there's multiple limitations on this,
So that's probably
but the most concerning one is that you have to be in range of one of those rebroadcast stations, which we are in dense environments, but as you move away from airports, you have less and less of those, and you may not actually
Alright,
receive that
so
information.
we're gonna post it.
Yeah, thank
again
you.
right
Just follow up.
here.
So just because I think it's been a discussion in a lot about the visibility of aircraft, and not that we always can't get better, and we can use that information for much more high fidelity things like actual traffic avoidance. On the night of 29 January, an aircraft equipped with ADS-B
So,
in
again,
the DC
hold
area
on one
would have
second,
seen the
I'ma turn
UH-60
them
Black.
off. So, again, what we're doing, we're showing you guys. I don't know if you guys was able to see the last time I did it. Or under my other account, they wouldn't allow us to post. So now we're going to post again. The same thing that we just post. Take this part out. I'm going to end it with a period and a quotation. Alright. Let's post it again. So it says, under Sean Duffy leadership, there have been over 268 aviation accidents in 2025. Over 3,000 military jets have been created by JetBlue, funded with our tax dollars by Donald Trump. Why were there over 3,000 private jets that flew into Augustus, Georgia during during the golf tournament. Jets that was paid with our tax dollars. Can anybody answer these questions? And why are all these Europeans making these decisions? Why are there so many Europeans when you have so many different cultures that's around the world? Why do you see all these Europeans? Why aren't there other cultures when it comes to these political positions? Why do all these Europeans have this superiority complex? And why are they always in power? Why can't you get past these Europeans who have rich families and shit? Why can't we get past all this shit? Because it has been systemically positioned and conditioned, and this is the reason why we can never, ever work. See? You see that? Something went wrong. Y'all see this? You see this, right? You see this, right? Nah, but we tripping out, you know. It's us. It's us, y'all. So what's up with this right here? Something went wrong. What went wrong, YouTube? Other than the fact that we're exposing you. What went wrong, YouTube, other than the fact that we are exposing these European assholes? These European Jewish motherfuckers. What went wrong? Something went wrong. See, they're saying something went wrong, right? So what went wrong? What are we doing wrong right now? Hello? We're talking to you guys. Look at all these Europeans. There's nothing but Europeans in these damn fucking crowds. What went wrong? What did we say that was wrong? Now, you might see some of our brothers and sisters in a crowd, maybe. And you definitely gonna see some of them Asian people and shit in the crowd and shit. But what's up with our people? So we don't exist at all, huh? But you see all these European faces. So, let me go back to see what the fuck is going on, because as we can see, they were restricting it. See, something went wrong. You keep showing that something keeps going wrong on these fucking clown. Look, and then this is another. Look at a brand new. What's up with this? Why does Fox News have all these different lives going on at the same time? You got this one. You got this one. You got this one. Let's go to their lives. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 lives going on at the same time. Very interesting. And when we came on this one, it says something went wrong. So under Sean Duffy's leadership, there have been over 268 aviation accidents in 2025. Over 3,000 military jets have been created by JETBLUE, funded with our tax dollars by Donald Trump and all Republican senators. Why are all these European Jewish people making all these decisions? And they over here finding it like it's a joke. They laughing like it's a joke. So again, yo, live on the set. Yeah, they keep cutting me off right now. I don't even see. Alright, there you go. Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but you know, you're dealing with this bullshit ass society. So let's listen to these fucking clowns while they lie.
I think that's certainly possible. That would be something that the RTCA Special Committee would address, and I'm sure that we could address that as we examine alerting below 1,000 feet AGL, and I would encourage ALPA and other interested parties to participate in that discussion. Those should be, open to your participation.
Thank you very much. We would absolutely love to. Thank you, sir.
And I'll add here too, that capability exists in ATAS. So ATAS does re-alert as the conflict is not resolved and deteriorates. And then it gives you that same traffic 12 o'clock high descending type of information.
Thank you so much.
As a re-alert.
Yeah, that's perfect. Thank you. That's all. Further questions? Thank you.
Thank you. PSA.
Thank you, ma'am. Oh, yeah. Captain Surge, is there any ADSB-N available for the CRJ 700 at this time, commercially available?
Not at this time. There's nothing certified for the CRJ 700.
Thanks, sir. Mr. Van Vinken, question for you there, as we were just talking about pointing out traffic and everything there. We had the, as he's talking about the oil alerts and everything, would it also be as helpful to get a...
So you have the same people who have committed the crimes asking the same people who have committed the crimes questions.
Those who don't know, is 12 o'clock, so 3 o'clock would be the right side of the aircraft.
Gotcha. So, having flown in airspace and familiar with it, how likely are you to mistake an aircraft from approach between 500 and 1,500 feet above the landscape for a pole or other stationary objects?
It depends on the distance, but it's pretty likely. In this case, I was thinking about this last night, actually, the cluster of lights that were lined up on runway 1 versus the aircraft that was landing to runway 33, that's only a 40-degree change. So it's not a huge circling approach like a DME arc. So there wouldn't be a lot of movement in my limited 40-degree field of view night vision goggles. That aircraft might only move a little bit inside my field of view. So it would be very difficult to detect that aircraft coming off of runway 1 while it transitions to their right, my left of runway 33.
Yeah. Does the MVG help you pick up that movement, or does it?
Well, I mean, it magnifies light, so anything that it'll increase the light so I can see a lot better, but it won't necessarily help me pick up better. I need something to judge for movement. So relative to where the aircraft was initially lined up, there's not a lot of movement to the left for that circling approach, so it wouldn't really jump out in my field of view in my goggles.
I was thinking with the depth perception there with the two.
Well,
would it be the same?
Yes, sir. With depth perception, it's primarily meaning above the ground, like as I'm flying, like as I'm hovering at 10 feet, it's very difficult to determine how high I am. But bright lights don't necessarily mean they're closer to me in the aircraft. It could be just how the pitch of the aircraft.
They lead in the witnesses on how to respond to their questions. Have you noticed that?
And I'm glad you said that about the brightness of the lights there. Can you tell the difference, I mean, between a landing light, logo lights, strobe lights? I mean, those are pretty bright. I mean, the landing lights, in the videos you can see there.
They are pretty bright. A landing light for sure. Different aircraft have different intensities of landing lights. It is not uncommon as you're flying through DC for newer crew members to call out traffic, and I'll look with my naked eye, and they'll say, I got traffic 9 o'clock, 3 miles. And I'll look, and it's over Baltimore. I'll say, that's about 40 miles away. So newer pilots, it takes time to develop that depth perception, and you can only really do that through scanning with the naked eye.
Gotcha. Thank you, sir. I have no further questions.
Thank you. Army.
Just want to go back to kind of along these lines here on visual acuity. So can you reference what the highest visual acuity is, usually unaided, when you're flying an unaided in the national airspace?
So you asking me, sir?
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry.
You, Mr. Van Vechten.
So it says 2200. So right now, most of us have around 2020, depending on the age of our eyeballs. But we're around 2020, and the best at night would be 2200.
And with goggles, that your forward vision, at least through your mesopic vision, would be what?
So optimally focused, perfect sight picture with the green or the Type 6 goggles, approximately 2040, and with the white goggles or the Type 8, approximately 2025.
And your best visual acuity comes from what portion of your eyeball when you're at nighttime?
Which
portion. You trying to get a check ride, sir?
Yes. Yeah.
So I'm primarily using off-center viewing because of the night blind spot within my eyeball.
Right. But your peripheral gives you the highest fidelity of vision at night.
Sorry. Yes, sir.
So a combination of night vision goggles looking forward and your peripheral vision gives you the optimum ability to see objects at nighttime versus the unaided eye. Is that correct?
That's correct, and that's why scanning is essential.
Okay. No further questions.
Thank you. FAA.
No further questions, ma'am.
Thank you. NADCA.
No questions. Thank you, ma'am.
All right. We're going to move on to, Board of Inquiry. All right. Mr. McIntosh, thank you for being here and thank you for participating in the panel. I want to talk about ADSB in and our recommendations and where FAA is. And your Chief Operating Officer at Air Traffic Organization. Thank you.
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
Yeah. So the NTSB has advocated for ADSB in technology for a number of years. In a letter dated February 14th, 2008, in response to the FAA's notice of proposed rulemaking to require ADSB out, the NTSB expressed concern that the FAA did not plan to require ADSB in capability because, according to the NPRM, it, quote, has not been identified as a requirement for maintaining the safety and efficiency of national airspace operations. The letter continued that the board believed that this assessment was incorrect and that the equipage of aircraft with ADSB in capability would provide an immediate and substantial contribution to safety, especially during operations in and around airports. The FAA Modernization and Reform Act of 2012 required the FAA to identify the type of avionics required for all classes of airspace. It also specifically required the FAA to initiate rulemaking to require aircraft operating in capacity-constrained airspace at capacity-constrained airports or in, quote, any other airspace deemed appropriate by the administrator be equipped with ADSB in technology by 2020. And aviation, I'll skip ahead a little bit. However, the FAA Reauthorization Act of 2018 repealed the requirement that the FAA initiate rulemaking to require ADSB in technology and instead directed the FAA to ensure that any regulations resulting from that rulemaking had no effect. Since the 2008 letter, we have recommended numerous times after mid-air collisions for the FAA to implement ADSB in, and especially since the 2018 Act, and certainly since 2020, not just for Part 120, not just for Parts 91 and 135, which we did after specific mid-air collisions, but across different airspace. In June 26, 2023, after our last set of recommendations on whether FAA was going to implement ADSB in, the last response that we have ever received from FAA on this is June 26, 2023, and the acting administrator at that time stated, "We have determined that our current ADSB requirements adequately address the needs of aviation safety and will not pursue any additional ADSB requirements at this time." So,
a mix of other governments with interest and also some private individuals along the way. One of the interesting things I've noted, everyone's interested in doing
registered in the U.S. be equipped with ADSB in?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Do you also support or oppose requiring that any aircraft required to be equipped with ADSB out today when operating in an airspace described in Section 91.225D of Title 49 CFR, Code of Federal Regulations, also be required to install and operate ADSB in?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. Just one just quick thing I'll just note. You might want to update your website as of June 3rd, 2025. I know it was last updated. Your website on Equip ADSB, which promotes the use of this technology. So thank you very much. Under frequently asked questions, it says, is ADSB in required? And the answer is, at this time, the FAA does not plan to mandate ADSB in. While technically correct, you don't plan to mandate it. Your position has shifted, and I appreciate that. And thank you for clarifying that. I did that all in my 5 minutes. Member Graham, thank you.
Captain Clow, I've got some questions as far as where the traffic display is in the cockpit of a CRJ-7 that was involved. Where would the crew look at the traffic? Where would it be on the instrument panel?
The multifunction display, there are two of them, one for each pilot. It's forward in the glare shield. That's the primary reference for TCAS information. I also would like to indicate that there's a small TCAS message area on the primary flight display as well.
Okay, so if there was a traffic advisory of the sort, that would come up on that area?
Yes, sir.
Okay, does that display, the multifunction display, will that only bring up the range ring and it's selectable in range from 5, 10, 20 to 40 miles, is that correct?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
So I assume you have a moving map in the CRJ-7?
No, we don't.
You can't put a flight plan in and it follows?
Yes, there is a graphical depiction of the navigation track, but not really a moving map with map reference.
But you're not able to overlay traffic on that, is that correct?
No, it is overlaid on that.
It is overlaid, so you just don't have to look at the round black ring, but you can look at traffic relative to where your flight track is, correct?
Yes, sir.
Does that give a pilot better situational awareness as to?
So anyway, yo, live on the set. I'm your host, Brother Jeremiah with Real Talk Radio, LLC, where our talk is always real. Again, if you are paying attention to the details of all the things that have occurred within 2025, you will notice that every single one of these politics, whether it be Democrat or Republican, they're a part of these agendas. So, whether it be according to the COVID-19, which actually means certified of vaccination ID, artificial intelligence is an acronym for it. So if you really better start doing your research. And also, it's a part of the 666 patent that Bill Gates created. So all you people who have, gotten the shot, yeah, you guys are in a whole lot of shit. But I'm going to let y'all know the shit that y'all in. Y'all took the mark of the beast, homie. That real ID and all that shit, that's the mark of the beast. These motherfuckers are really fucking devil worshipping ass piece of shit that will get their fucking heads blown off by us who, yeah. I invoke my First and Second Amendment rights for a reason. These motherfuckers come at me, I'm coming at them. And I'm not going to play with them. I'm going to blow their fucking heads off. So, it is what it is. Y'all want to play with them. I'm not going to play with them at all. So again, yo, live on the set. I'm your host, Brother Jeremiah with Real Talk Radio, LLC, where our talk is always real. Fuck y'all with that bullshit, for real.
Real talk, real talk. All you gotta do is be real with yourself, and everything will be alright. You feel me? Real Talk Radio.
Yo, I'm your host, Brother Jeremiah with Real Talk Radio, LLC, where I talk real.
Yo, this is for those cats that's out there.
Very simple answer to one question. Do you hate all white people?
I don't think it's a fair question. The white man doesn't even come into my attitude. Mr. Muhammad teaches us to love our own kind and let the white man take care of himself. For a white man today, sir, after kidnapping millions of black people from Africa, stripping them of all human characteristics and relegating them to the role of cattle or animals, commodity, merchandise that could be bought and sold at will. And then 100 years since the Emancipation Proclamation, using every type of deceptive method to further us into slavery, called second-class citizenship, I think that it would take a whole lot of nerve for white people today to ask Negroes who they hate.
Legal or illegal?
Gotta get it.
Yeah.
Anywhere that I can get
Anyway.
it. And if I gotta take it, I'ma make it.
Legal or illegal?
Gotta get it.
Gotta
Anywhere
get it.
that I can get it.
Anyway.
If I gotta take it, I'ma make it.
Legal or illegal?
Gotta get it.
Yeah.
Anywhere that I can get it.
Anyway. Yeah.
Let's walk this way.
Is that Prince Rakeem? Come here, Prince. What's today's mathematics?
Hey, yo, no disrespect, but we ain't in all of that, son.
Build, destroy. To build is to elevate the mentalities of self and those around self. To add positive energy to every nation. To build, you must first start from the root, which is the knowledge foundation, and add on to the highest peak. To destroy is to eliminate and destroy any and all negativity that enters my cipher of supreme harmony.
Peace, God.
Peace, God.
Come on, son. Love it.
I don't play about me. This season is all about continued growth and surrounding myself with energy that aligns with what I'm trying to achieve in my life. If it's toxic, I don't want it around me. If it's negative, I don't want it around me. If it's confusing or unfulfilling, I just don't want it around me. Right now, my biggest toxic trait is fuck around and never hear from me again. It's really like that. Listen, I love people, and I show everybody love. So if I stop fucking with you, that means you did too much. Because once you cross me, I can give two shits about an apology. Stay away from me.
Yo, live on the set, this is your co-host, Little Jeremiah, with Real Talk Radio, LLC. Where I talk is always real.
Can I have your name and badge number?
My name
Can
is Gonsalves.
What's your name and badge number?
It's right
please?
Are you filming it?
I said pass safety. Could you please have your sergeant come by, please?
Legal or illegal? Yeah. Anyway. Legal or illegal? Gotta get it. Anyway. Legal or illegal? Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. Legal or illegal? Legal or illegal? Legal or illegal?
Real talk, real talk. All you gotta do is be real with yourself, and everything will be alright. You feel me? Real Talk Radio. Real Talk Radio.